Sup guys, it's Alex here, and welcome to another edition of the Bracketology update. This update is from January 18th of Joe Lunardi's recent ESPN Bracketology, and after a crazy 2 days of basketball on Tuesday and Wednesday where at least 7 ranked teams ended up losing, there's been a lot of changes in the bracket. As you can see, most of them are on the left side here. The big loser right now is Arizona State. They fell to a 7 seed after being a 1 seed in an earlier bracketology in the season. Kansas and North Carolina are now up to a 2 seed. Louisville and Alabama are moving up as well to a 7 and 10 respectively. And on the bubble, we have as the last 4 in UCLA, Maryland, Middle Tennessee, and Providence. And the first 4 out are USC, Georgia, Baylor, and Houston. And so, as always, for every bracketology update that I do, I go ahead and put them on Brackify.com. This link will be in the description for you guys to go ahead and vote and make your thoughts about the NCAA tournament known, make your predictions and all that jazz. This channel is the only place that you can do this right now on YouTube, to where you can go ahead and vote, stuff like that. I think I'm the only person on YouTube doing it. So if you can, go ahead and subscribe, turn those post notifications on for every bracketology update that comes out. They come out on Mondays and Thursdays, and so that's just a quick update for you guys. Let's go ahead and go into the voting. So we'll have the 1 seed, Villanova, moving on past the winner of NC Central and Nichols. That one's pretty obvious. Then in the 8 versus 9 matchup, we have the 8 seed Rhode Island versus the 9 seed Florida State. I'm going to have to go with the slight upset there with Florida State moving on past Rhode Island. Then one of the hottest teams, if not the hottest team in the nation, number 5 Ohio State, will beat Buffalo. Then we have the 4 seed Cincinnati beating the 13 seed Vermont. And then I have the 6 seed Florida beating the winner of UCLA and Providence, which I think that UCLA would end up winning that game. Then I think West Virginia is going to beat William and Mary. Then I think Michigan, I like this team this year. They're not getting a whole lot of respect right now as a 7 seed. They had a couple stumbles earlier in the season, but I think that they're a team to beat right now. They're getting pretty hot. The North Carolina will beat Iona, of course. Then we have Duke beating Cal State Fullerton. And then the Battle of the Texas right here. We got number 8 Texas versus number 9 Texas A&M, who is starting to fall off. They just recovered with a nice win. I think it was Tuesday night. I want to say it was against Ole Miss. Don't quote me on that. But I'm going to have to go with Texas moving on there with Mohamed Bamba. Then Kentucky as a 5 seed will beat New Mexico State. Arizona as a 4 seed will beat East Tennessee State. And then I think the winner of Maryland and Middle Tennessee will pull off a pretty monumental upset here of TCU. I think that Middle Tennessee is going to beat Maryland and then beat TCU. Or Middle Tennessee will beat Maryland and then beat TCU. Then Xavier will beat Murray State. And then I think Arizona State will beat Notre Dame. I think they'll be able to turn their season around after starting 2-3 in the Pac-12. Then Oklahoma will beat Montana. And then Purdue will beat the winner of Robert Morris and Jackson State. I really like Purdue as a 1 seed there. Then I think Butler will beat Nevada. And then I think WKU, Western Kentucky, will pull off the upset there and beat Tennessee. They're one of the hottest at-large non-major conference teams in the nation right now. And then Western Kentucky had beaten Purdue earlier in the season, so take that into account. Clemson will beat South Dakota State with Mike Daum. Gonzaga will beat Boise State. Wichita State will beat Wright State. And then I think that Missouri will pull off the victory here against Miami, Florida. Missouri just got a huge win over Tennessee. Miami, Florida is not doing too well right now. Then I think Kansas will beat Radford. And then Virginia will beat Florida Gulf Coast. And then I think that St. Mary's will beat Arkansas. I usually don't pick St. Mary's in the tournament. I haven't in the most recent bracketology updates I've been doing, but I like them there. Seton Hall will beat Missouri State. And then we have Auburn beating Louisiana Lafayette. And then after that, we have Creighton beating Syracuse. And then after that, we have Texas Tech beating Bucknell, Louisville beating Alabama, who just got a pretty big win against Auburn yesterday, and then Michigan State beating Pennsylvania. And then for a spot in the Sweet 16, Villanova will beat Florida State. And then after that, I think Ohio State will beat Cincinnati. And then I think West Virginia as a 3 seed will beat Florida. And then I think that I'd love to pick Michigan there as an upset pick, but I got North Carolina moving on. Then I'll have Duke beating Texas, a battle of some star freshmen there. As much as I want to pick Kentucky moving on, I'm a huge Kentucky fan, and we'll be going to the Nashville site games this tournament, and there'll be a vlog coming out for that. Got to go with Arizona right now. Kentucky. This might change later on, but Kentucky is not playing very well right now. Then I think Xavier will beat the winner of Maryland and Middle Tennessee. I think Oklahoma with Trae Young will beat Arizona State. Purdue will beat Butler. And then I think that I'm going to go with another upset here. I'm thinking Western Kentucky will beat Clemson and move on to face Purdue in a revenge game. More on that later. Wichita State will beat Gonzaga. And then Kansas will beat Missouri. And then we got Virginia beating St. Mary's. Then we got, I think that Auburn with Bruce Pearl, they're more experienced. They're going to beat Seton Hall. Then Creighton and Texas Tech got Texas Tech moving on there. And then Louisville and Michigan State. This could be another upset pick, but I'm going to go with Michigan State. I think Jaren Jackson and Miles Bridges will turn their season around. Then right here in the Elite Eight, I'm going to go with the huge upset here. I'm getting the number 1 Villanova to be upset by Ohio State, moving on to the Elite Eight. Ramen accidentally there. Then I think that West Virginia will pull off the victory against North Carolina. Duke will beat Arizona. And then we got Xavier moving on against Oklahoma. I don't like Xavier, but Trae Young, Oklahoma's just showing up to be a one-man team, and if Trae Young has 12 turnovers like he did against Kansas State, they're not going to be able to move far in the tournament. Then in a rematch of one of the preseason tournaments, or like right after the season started, Western Kentucky had beaten Purdue in the Bahamas, but I'm going to go with Purdue moving on there. And then I think that Kansas will beat Wichita State. Then we got Virginia beating Auburn to move on to the Elite Eight. And then I think that Michigan State will beat Texas Tech. And then for a spot in the Final Four, we have number 3 West Virginia versus number 5 Ohio State. Got to go with West Virginia moving on there. Duke and Xavier, got to go with Duke moving on. Then Purdue and Kansas, I think that Kansas will pull off the victory there. And then number 1 Virginia versus number 2 Michigan State. It always seems like these two teams play each other in the NCAA tournament. Going to go with Virginia with the best defense in the NCAA moving on there. West Virginia and Duke, I think Duke's just pure talent's going to overpower West Virginia there. Virginia and Kansas going to go with, I think that Virginia's going to move on there. I was tempted to pick Kansas, but I'm going to go with Virginia. Then we got number 1 seed Duke, the number 4 overall seed versus the number 3 overall seed Virginia Cavaliers, and I'm going to go with Virginia winning the championship with the NCAA's best defense. Leave your guys' thoughts in the comments section. Go ahead and put your reactions and stuff there too. Make sure you click that link in the description for the link to go ahead and vote, make your predictions known, and be sure to check out my channel on Monday. Subscribe if you're new. There'll be a new bracketology video coming up then. And then if you haven't already, go ahead and check out my new video called I Need Your Help. I need to get to 1,000 subscribers by February 20th, and there's a potential there is an NCAA tournament ticket giveaway if I do reach that goal. So go ahead and check that video out. Subscribe if you're new. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and I will see you guys later. Thanks for watching.